आप अगर इंडिविजुअली एक-एक प्लांट लेवल में खरीदीजिएगा या ऑर्डर प्लेस कीजिएगा, तो उसमें क्या होता है ना वेरिएशन ऑफ रेट्स विल बी देयर एंड यू वोंट गेट द इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल ऑपरेशन. We received approximately 700 odd indents, okay? And backlog indents were around 200, so total 900 indents. And during this period, corresponding period, we placed around 1,300 odd orders. Price is a fact. Always price is the main thing, but quality is also important. What is the experience that person is having?
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, स्वागत है आपका विकास की बात डीवीसी के साथ के एक नए एपिसोड में। हमारे साथ आज ऐसे व्यक्ति हैं जिनका दामोदर घाटी निगम में योगदान पिछले 37 सालों से रहा है और आज ही इज वर्किंग एज अ एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर सीएमएम श्री संचयन साहा सर। स्वागत है सर आपका।
Thank you, Rajiv ji. Thank you for having me on the show.
सर ये सीएनएम डिपार्टमेंट के बारे में थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ अगर आप शेयर कर सकें कि क्या करता है, क्या रोल है।
Basically, the CRM department is contracts and materials department. The whatever works are going on in various phases or in the various power plants, as well as the works which are envisaged to be done in the future. So what is done is that you have to place an order for that.
Yes.
Supply हो या works का हो या services हो, whatever it may be. So basically, the purpose of the CRM department is whenever an approved indent is received at our end, we have to process that through NITs, and subsequently after processing the complete process, then we have to place the orders either in the form of purchase order or in the form of work orders. Apart from that, CRM department is also entrusted with the duty of selling of scraps.
Okay.
For example, the decommissioned units, for example, BTPS, CTPS, and Durgapur. So all those old units which were decommissioned, the scrap disposal was through a e-catalog, auction process, and that was conducted by CNM. And also the day-to-day scraps, routine scraps that are generated in course of execution of various works at the various plants. Those are normally accumulated in the scrap yards, and those are also processed through e-auction, either from the respective plant level or at times also from the headquarter level.
ये जो आपने ऑक्शन की बात की है तो डीवीसी का तो हिस्ट्री 77 इयर्स का रहा है, तो ये स्क्रैप भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा रहा होगा प्लांट्स में। तो ये स्क्रैप केवल जो नॉर्मल स्क्रैप है उसका आप लोग करते हैं कि जो हैज़ार्डस वेस्ट जिसको एज़ ए स्क्रैप डिक्लेयर करते हैं उसका भी कुछ आप
सर
लोग?
हैज़ार्डस का भी होता है, हैज़ार्डस का भी होता है, उसमें ये रहता है, कंडीशंस रहता है इन द एनआईटी दैट ओनली दोज वेंडर्स हु आर कैपेबल और हु आर ऑथराइज्ड टू हैंडल हैज़ार्डस स्क्रैप्स, दे विल ओनली काउंट.
And who has the signing authority to declare them as the authorized agency for handling those hazardous material?
The statutory authorities are there. They normally declare that who will handle these hazardous scraps.
The State Pollution Control
Yes,
Board.
and they designate those particular agencies, and we keep it as a precondition in the NITs or e-catalogs that are normally hoisted. And based on that, the vendors come, and after checking or getting through the documents that they submit, we process it for further placement of orders.
डीवीसी में तो अभी ई वेस्ट भी काफी ज्यादा होगा अभी।
हाँ, ई-वेस्ट आपका से हेडक्वार्टर से ही बहुत ई-वेस्ट हम लोग का डिस्पोज़ल हुआ है।
तो उसके लिए भी जो एजेंसी
हाँ,
अप्रूव्ड है,
ओनली ओनली
ऑथराइज्ड है।
यस,
ओके।
एग्ज़ैक्टली ओनली।
क्योंकि उसमें तो सुना है काफी गोल्ड और इस तरह से प्रेशियस मटेरियल भी रहते हैं और उसको उससे निकालने के बाद वो जो हैज़ार्डस वेस्ट बच जाता है, उसको भी सही सुरक्षित ढंग से
डिस्पोज़ल करना चाहिए।
डिस्पोज़ल करना।
राइट, राइट, राइट।
सर एक चीज़ और जानना था, जैसे सीएमएम में जब मैं सर प्लांट में काम करता था, तो वहाँ पर इंडिविजुअल प्रोजेक्ट्स में एक सीएमएम सेक्शन हुआ करता था और अभी देखो वो सारे सेक्शंस वो बहुत छोटे हो गए हैं और वो जैसा सुनने को मिला है, वो एक सेंट्रलाइज़्ड सीएमएम हेडक्वार्टर से ही है, जो ऑपरेट कर रही है और इंडिविजुअल प्रोजेक्ट्स का और एवरी प्रोजेक्ट्स का जो मटेरियल प्रोक्योरमेंट है या जो मतलब काम का अवार्ड है, वो भी आपके डिपार्टमेंट से होता है। तो इसकी ज़रूरत क्यों पड़ी कि इंडिविजुअल प्रोजेक्ट्स को छोटा कर दिया जाए?
Actually, this was decided at the topmost management level, and like finance, which has been centralized to a great extent. Similarly, C&M also. What happens is that when you centralize the particular work, what happens is that suppose there are materials, there are works which are utilized by all the plants. Now, what happens is that आप अगर individually एक एक plant level में खरीद दीजिएगा या order place कीजिएगा, तो उसमें क्या होता है ना, variation of rates will be there and you won't get the economies of scale operation. तो क्या होता है, when you procure it at the central level, so the total requirement of all the plants get merged, and it's a voluminous say tender, or that helps in bringing out good vendors. One thing, and another thing is that you get
Reduction
the
of price.
economies of scale,
Reduction of
for
prices.
which the price also is reduced, and we get the benefit of that. And another most important thing is that the number of indents and contracts get reduced. So that helps in processing and the time is saved. A lot of time is also saved. So now all the major contracts, all the major procurements are being done from headquarter level. But yes, there are vehicle contracts, there's a CSR contracts and petty civil contracts, which are processed from the site C&M department. And now initially all the contracts used to come. Now we
C&M
have
department means the individual
individual at site
project.
level. And now one thing has been done is that since many contracts were coming into headquarters, so now we have made a thing that only contracts below 5 lakhs will be processed from the site, and above 5 lakhs will be processed from the headquarters.
Okay, great. Sir, in coming next few years, DVC is going to expand its generating capacity approximately double times or more than 2.5 times. So what are the things that your department has taken up as a proactive steps to mitigate those problems which are going to come in future for the smooth procurement of material and the work order?
Basically, it's an ongoing process. So any system or any processes that you follow that are always liable for improvement. So in the recent past, what we have done is that certain difficulties we are facing regarding the integrity pledge. Now, integrity pledge is made mandatory, and it is included in the very first envelope. So whenever we don't used to receive, earlier we had to hard copy of integrity pledge, IP as you call it. So if we don't receive it, then the bids were rejected straight away. Like EMD, if you don't receive, you reject the bid. So the rejection rate was very high on account of that. So what we have did now, we have introduced the e-integrity pledge, wherein we are signing the document, we are hoisting it in the tender portal, and the vendor has to just sign it with witness, and they have to resubmit it back along with their bid. So what it is doing is that it is helping in avoiding this hard copy part. That is optional, but if a vendor wants to submit it in the e-form, they can do it.
Then in the whole process, the process time is
The
getting
probability
reduced.
of rejection gets reduced. Now it is up to the vendor to take a call and fill it up properly, sign it and submit it. So this has been done. Again, we have introduced EBG for security deposit also. Recently now it has been also decided that it will be the only form. So that is under anvil, it is under process, it will be also done. And another thing that we have done in C&M department is that earlier what happened was that the total C&M structure at headquarters what was in plant wise basis. Now recently in February or March we have done a reshuffle, and now the total C&M department is allocated jobs as per area. For example, as per area of, for example, in any plant there is boilers, there is turbines. So all the boiler contracts are looked after by say one vertical, apart from other works. So what happens is that they get specialized, they are able to know the ins and outs of the various things, and easily the things are converted into NITs and subsequently to orders. And apart from that, as regards to e-reverse auction, earlier it was almost being done for all types of contracts. Now that has been revisited, and we have brought out an order where it is now not applicable for many of the contracts, and in others which you want to keep, you have to take due approval of the HOD or the HOP, and the things are done. Another very important thing that we have done of the late is that we have incorporated NTPC vendor enlistment. So what that has helped is that earlier many of the tenders got cancelled due to non-compliance of the techno-commercial bids. Now what is happening is that since the vendor list of NTPC already qualified, techno-commercially qualified list, so what happens is that the probability of the mutualization of the tenders has increased. So that has also been started. So all these things.
So if any vendor who is registered under the NTPC,
Right.
so we don't find any complications in those vendors, and we automatically say that
Now, we actually, there is an indent. In the indent, it is mentioned that whether you will be availing the NTPC vendor list or no. So the indenter has to click yes or no. So based on that, they will suggest the list of vendors, and based on that input, we will process it for the NIT.
again we have to verify that those vendors
No,
are
no verification, because
technically
since it is,
acceptable or not.
yes, since it is being taken from the NTPC vendor list, it is
Okay.
basically an LT. It is
Okay,
basically
great.
an LT, and you directly go for the
So there is
processing
no
part.
need to certify that
No,
these
no, all those
vendors
things are taken care of.
technically.
Since we are taking the list of vendors from the NTPC qualified list, so that part is taken care of.
अभी जैसा बताया कि there are different verticals in your department which are looking after individual jobs in which they have got some expertise. But I've heard that lots of process were getting slowed down, so CNM department has given order to some consultant
Right.
for the fast execution of all the process which are pending since long. उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए सर.
Actually, as far as pending since long is concerned, as far as I've got the reports that earlier, when during the time of centralization of the CNM
Transition
department,
from
transition
individual to-
from site to headquarters, what happens is that approximately almost 1400 to 1500 indents were under process in various stages. So what we are doing, trying to do of late, is that we are trying to reduce the numbers. So in the last, say, from as per the figure I remember, from January to July, we received approximately 700 odd indents. Okay, and backlog indents were around 200. So total 900 indents. And during this period, corresponding period, we placed around 1300 odd orders. So what that has done is that has reduced the backlog. So we are in the process of reducing the backlog. So if you can reduce that 900 level to say around 600 or 500 range, some indents will be always under process in CNM department. But the thing should be such that each of the engineers, so I say around 30 engineers who are 35 engineers who are in the working level, they should be having a number of indents in such quantity which is comfortable for them. Otherwise, they will feel overburdened. So our basic purpose is to reduce that burden, and for that we have to expedite placing of orders. And you may be, I am happy to share with you that in the last, say, in the month of March, in the month of May, and also in the month of last month, July, we have placed more than 200 orders per month. So we are trying to improve. Our engineers are also the departmental the workforce that we have. They are dedicatedly trying to reduce this gap. And hopefully, I feel that in another, say, 5 or 6 months' time, we will be in a comfortable position. To augment this process, actually, this order was also placed on this our consultant, and there are two work streams there. One work stream is directly associated with the various verticals and also with the PPG group, who are actually placing the indents. So what they are doing is that once the intent is coming, so they are preparing the bid preparation, they are preparing the NITs. So they are helping our engineers in preparation of those things, and ultimately into the conversion to orders. And another work stream is engaged in the, actually, basically what happens is that when there is delay, or when there is, what I should say, is a backlog, so you have to identify also the areas where you need to attack. So first thing that we thought of is that the inputs, the total inflow of indents, has to be reduced. For that, OSU has also helped us a lot. They are now standardizing or making rate contracts. So taking the inputs from the various plant level. So they are preparing a detailed list of items. We are having also another route that we have started is the MU route. So in that route, various tenders are being ARC proposals are being placed, and without going into the direct tendering process, we are also placing orders. So what is happening is the number of indents from plant level is getting reduced. So we are controlling the input inflow to the CRM department. Another thing that has been done and needs to be done, I feel, is the standardization of the ARCs. For this mechanical and electrical, there is a standard list of packages. But as far as civil is concerned, there is no standard. Yes, it depends on the site, and there are a number of small order proposals which are coming. That is increasing the number of indents. So if there is standardization there, the inflow will reduce. Another thing is that to improve the process. Now, in certain areas, definitely the process time is high. We have to standardize those processes, and for that, actually, the work stream 2 of the consultant is working. So they will be suggesting us. They have already analyzed our issues, and they have gone through the details of our processes, and they will be coming up with some recommendations of which area we can take care of and which area needs to be addressed, and they will come up with suggestions which will be ultimately processed and be implemented. So in this way, what is happening is that one thing is to reduce the inflow of indents, and another thing is to reduce the processing time. In this way, what will happen? The backlog will be time to time, in a
In which
period of time, it will be reduced.
in which process they are
They will
helping?
totally starting from the receipt of the indent
Okay.
and to the order. There are various processes.
So
So all
in
these things they will take care of, they will visit, and they will also study the industry standards, practices which are prevalent in the big organizations, and based on that they will come up with some recommendations.
so in their process, our engineers are also getting involved.
They are, for example, to study our system, they took the inputs from our engineers, from me also, in course of various discussions and meetings. Now they are comparing it with the industry standards, and they will come up with some recommendations in due course of time.
नहीं, जो इंडेंट आता है, इंडेंट के बाद जो वर्क ऑर्डर प्लेस होता है, इसके बीच में काफी सारा
काफी
प्रोसेस होता
प्रोसेस
है।
है। फर्स्ट
तो
इंडेंट आने के बाद आपको एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा whether the indent is correct, whether it is to in all respects the inputs are okay.
इंडेंट में क्या गलती हो सकता है?
इंडेंट में गलती होता है। देयर आर सेवरल मिस्टेक्स इन द इंडेंट, द यूजर सब। एक्चुअली क्या है कि इंडेंट का आपका चेकलिस्ट है मैनुअल में। So usually the indenter should actually go through the checklist that all the points have been taken care of or not in course of preparation of the indent and submission of the indent. It is not that they are not doing it, but still there are certain mistakes or certain, I will say, ambiguities are there. So those needs to be resolved. And in certain cases, we either through discussion with the indenting department, we set those things right. And after that, it is converted into the NIT. So for NIT, if it is open tender, you have to prepare the QR. So QR, you have to, there's a committee that signs the document, and it goes to the approval of the QR committee member. And after approval, that QR is settled, and then the NIT preparation starts, and NIT is hoisted in the system.
अभी जो ईपीसी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हम लोगों ने अलग-अलग जगह पे न्यू कमिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए दिया है सर, उनका भी अपना प्रोक्योरमेंट प्रोसेस होगा मटेरियल का, उसमें भी आपका इन्वॉल्वमेंट है?
Basically, once we place the order on a particular EPC vendor, the another part is that the approval of the sub vendor. So on whom they will be placing their orders for procurement. So they're normally incorporated in the EPC contract. They will seek approval from DVC that whether with a list of vendors that I am willing to purchase this particular item from this list of vendors. You are requested to submit your approval, furnish your approval. So that process is taken care of.
C&M department is also looking after the process of approval of the
No,
sub-vendors.
no. That is looked after by the concerned indenting department and quality assurance.
सर व्हाट इज दिस जेम पोर्टल? ये काफ़ी अभी लोग बोलते हैं कि आपको जेम पोर्टल से लेना होगा, जेम पोर्टल से ही इंडेंट करना होगा। ये जेम पोर्टल क्या है?
GEM is government e-marketplace portal. So as per the guidelines of the ministry, whatever procurement or whatever tenders you do, you have to do it through the GEM portal. Earlier, we used to avail the CPP portal, Central Public Procurement Portal. But now it has been made mandatory to do everything from GEM portal. Now, if you want to do away with GEM portal, suppose you want to do some indents away from GEM portal tenders, then you have to take a GEM non-availability certificate. Based on that, you can move to some other portals.
Means every agency or every supplier or every vendor or
Not every. What is that? Is the GEM portal is normally actually devised for procurement part. For example, we are utilizing CPP, CPPP for our works. Works means those which are project related, construction, big projects. So that those are being done from the CPP portal. Apart from the QCBS mode of tendering, so that is done in CPPP portal. That is also a corporation order is also existing. And apart from that, of late, what we are seeing that I told you about the ARC, the rate contracts. So rate contracts are not configured in GEM. So rate contracts has to be processed in CPPP.
I mean to say that every agency of India who are
They have to be
planning
registered in the GEM.
they have
Yes,
to
they have to be
get
registered in GEM.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is most of the vendors are already registered. We are not facing any issue or lack of vendors in GEM. So, but they have to be registered if they have to submit bids.
So those vendors who are planning to work with DVC are requested to go and get registered at GEM portal at the earliest. एक अभी वर्ड यूज किया सर आपने QCBS, इसके बारे में बताइए, इसका काफी सारा
Quality
अभी
and
लोग बात
cost
कर
based
रहे हैं।
system of procurement. So what happens is that in many cases, for example, in consultancy contracts, price is a fact. Always price is the main thing, but quality is also important. What is the experience that person is having? For example, you will be giving a project consultancy contract. Whether he has that quality, whether he has the past experience of handling such works. So that has given us weightage. So how you evaluate? You evaluate 70% or 80% or 60%, whatever it may be, based on the requirement of the user department or intending department. So this set up that part. So 70, 60, 80 is given to the quality part, and based on that corresponding 20, 30, 40 is given in the cost part. So based on the quality evaluation through presentations or whatever interaction, direct interaction, the quality part marks is assessed, and the price part is based on the opening of the bids. And after that, there are formulas. So based on which the total marks is evaluated, and the each one bidder is given the contract.
जहाँ पर हम लोग किसी वर्क को क्वालिटी वाइज अगर हम वेल डिफाइंड रूल में सेट नहीं कर पाते हैं, तब हम इस मेथड में जाते
No,
हैं।
basically the most important thing is that, for example, it's not a procurement. For example, you're not going to procure a just item, but you are engaging a consultant or something that you are not sure of. So in those cases, the quality aspect is prime. In certain cases happens हो ना, होता है ना कि this quality, how the job will be executed, that is more important than the price part. In those cases, this method is followed.
सर आपने इतना समय दिया सर हमारे इस सेक्शन में और अपने विचार को रखा, अपने एक्सपीरियंस को शेयर किया। होपफुली ऑल द ऑडियंसेस, ऑल द फ्रेंड्स हु आर वाचिंग दिस एपिसोड विल गेट बेनिफिटेड इन देयर कमिंग डेज। सो पूरे होल डिपार्टमेंट की ओर से सर, समूचे सेक्रेटेरिएट की और दामोदर वैली कॉरपोरेशन की ओर से सर धन्यवाद आपका।
Thank you so much for having me in this session, and I hope that what you said, that whatever I have said or whatever I have discussed today will be of some help to someone. It will be great for me. Thank you very much.